that you can have in AUX in Istanbul, of course. Let me introduce myself. I'm French. Only French in this in all session. And I'm based in France, as I said, and I am a technical specialist in Autodesk company. I am a civil engineer, and my task in Autodesk, it is to be in front of customer and demonstrate huge workflow, starting to reality capture, Revit, InfraWorks, Stingray, as you saw before. And we've got a French blog called Village BIM, and very useful blog because we've got a lot of articles, technical articles about Autodesk stuff. Well, today we will talk about Dynamo. How many people already use Dynamo? Great. Not a lot, but a little bit. And you will see we can make some amazing stuff with Dynamo. I hope I will show you a lot of stuff, but I hope you will enjoy it and use it. Okay, into this session we will discover, understand, and show Dynamo. To the end, the possibility to use in front of customer and demonstrate all benefits of Dynamo. Okay. In my session, I've got two parts. First part, it will be the introduction and why we will use Dynamo and use cases. And the second part will be live demo. I hope I will have no crashes, but I think it will be okay. Okay, introduction. Do you enjoy spaghetti? Raise your hand. Everyone enjoys spaghetti. You will enjoy Dynamo, because at the end, when you start to create your visual scripting, you will have this kind of stuff. But don't be afraid, it's very easy to use. Dynamo, that's it. You've got some node. You've got some node here with input and output. You connect node by wires, and creating this kind of diagram, you can accomplish a lot of things in Dynamo. Okay, why Dynamo? Because first, it's linked with Revit. You already know Revit, yes? Okay. And of course, Revit is a part of BIM workflow. And by the way, using Revit, demonstrate BIM workflow, you can connect a lot of software. It will be Autodesk software, for sure. And of course, you can extend this collaboration with other software, like Excel. I know Excel is already used in the world. And for engineer, I am an engineer, I use every day Excel to accomplish a lot of things. Of course, it is data-driven, because when we talk about BIM, beyond that, we talk about data. It is open source. That means you can download, use it, and share. And by sharing your job, you can create a huge ecosystem. Already, Dynamo have a huge ecosystem. We will talk further what is this ecosystem. And for more advanced Dynamo user, you can use some scripting code like Python. Python is a scripting code to be further in Dynamo creation. Okay, the topic today is to talk about only about Dynamo for Revit. That's it. But you need to be aware that it already exists, Dynamo Studio. Dynamo Studio can't talk with other Autodesk software like Revit, Inventor, AutoCAD, 3ds Max, Robo, Civil 3D, and others. The way of thinking, it is to use Dynamo Studio as a central modeler and to send information to all this software. Here, you've got some example. On the top, Revit. On the bottom, Robo Structural Analysis. In center, Fusion 360, Inventor, and 3D Studio Max. It is some example, but you can find a lot of examples around Autodesk software. And as you see, we can make amazing stuff. Okay, I talk about ecosystem. Ecosystem, it's made by a lot of people, of course, and a lot of developers. Here, you've got the website of Dynamo website, sorry. And I made this screen capture in September. As you see, you've got a lot of installation and about 900 packages you can download. I don't spoke about packages. What is a package into Dynamo? When you install Dynamo, you've got basic function of Dynamo. If you want to go further, you can download packages here to accomplish some advanced modelization, for instance. During my live demo, I will use some packages, and I will show you what we can do with them. And for advanced user, what I told before, you can use some Python scripting. It is a special node. You see here Python script. Inside, you can create this kind of code. It is object scripting, programming oriented. But you need to first step to use Dynamo with basic level. When you will have some experiences with Dynamo, you can go using this way. Okay. The main issue in Dynamo, it is to have the idea, because with Dynamo you can make a lot of things, but it's difficult to imagine what you can do. Here, I will show you a lot of stuff around what you can do with Dynamo. First, you can create abstract geometries, like stairs, like strange shape. But you can do, because in Revit you can do a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's boring to copy and paste, or create repetitive stuff. You can make repetitive tasks into Dynamo very easily. In Dynamo, you can create a kind of validation. For instance, here, you can visually create some line, red or green, to see, for instance, the clearance between stairs and floor. Or here, to see the path evacuation analysis. It's not so easy to do this, but when you know a little bit Dynamo, it's not so hard. Okay, you can also use some objects and connect objects between them to create, for instance, bridges or strange shape. Or you can create some recursive objects to arrange some object between them. Or you can have a kind of reaction between objects. You can create this kind of group of objects, or you can resize objects between them. What we saw in last session, it was sun radiation analysis. I think you are aware you can do this stuff in Revit, but you can create this stuff into Dynamo. And into my live demo, I will show you what you can do this. It's very, very easy. Of course, as I said, Excel is well used in the IC ecosystem. And you can import or export data into Revit or into Excel using Dynamo node. And of course, if you want to enlarge the connection between other software, you can, for instance, it's an example, you can connect Rhino to Revit using a special package called Dynamo in native way, because nowadays, or currently, when you try to import Rhino file into Revit, you need to import the SAT file. And SAT file in Revit is not very useful. Okay, Dynamo in action. I will take now. Okay. Just an advice. When you use Dynamo, please use Revit English version, because the tool is developed natively in English, and sometimes if you use your own language, you can have some not bad connection between Dynamo and Revit. It's my advice, but you can use your language if you want. And another advice, as you see, it is a package here. It's Dynamo package. Today, it is released only for the previous version. That means if you want to use this in the current version, the 17 version, it can run. So be careful. You need to install the precedent and the new version. To be honest, actually, I use more frequently the previous version than the recent version, because packages are not all updated. Okay, let's see the first example. This. And I will show you it's very useful to use Dynamo using adaptative component. Here, you've got Revit 17, the current version, and I will start Dynamo. For Dynamo users, you see, actually, in this version, you run Dynamo into the tab Manage. In the previous version, you started Dynamo stuff into add-ins. It's a little bit tricky, but I notice it. Yes, I will start Dynamo, and I will open a file into the right folder. Yes. Into this file, you've got only one floor and some curved model line. I put 1, 2, 3. Before to run this example, I want to start with nothing to show you how quickly I can create something. For instance, if you want to create some level here, I remove the level already existed, and I open Dynamo. I will create a new sheet of Dynamo. You see on the right side of this window, you have the library with all Dynamo objects. Or you can, if you want, you can use it, but the quickest link is to make a right click and type the name what you want to use, the name node that you want to use. For instance, I want to create level here. Wait, I will use the library to show you what we can find into this library. I go in level here, and you've got a different kind of node to create level. I will use, for instance, elevation and name. You see this node, you've got two inputs. First, elevation, of course, and the name. Elevation will be the level, the altitude, if you want. I will use a code block. Code block, it is a general node where you can put what you want inside. For instance, I will put, I don't know, 0. And if I connect 0 here, I've got nothing because I don't connected here the input. He asked me to input a name. I will put a string, okay, and I will put a name, Toto. And now, here, after connecting the name, I've got one level with Toto at the altitude 0. If I want to create a lot of level, most than one level, I can use in code block a special language. If I do this, I create 10 levels with 1 meter gap. And if I increase here the Dynamo scripting using this here, using the four number, I display only 4 floors on the list created into Dynamo. Of course, you've got a lot of input into Dynamo. I can use a slider as an integer. Sorry, when you use Dynamo, it's more comfortable to have 2 screens, one for Dynamo, another one for Revit. In my case, I've got only 1 screen. It's not so easy to use. I can change 4 by a variable. I will use A. Of course, I've got a problem because A is not defined. And A, I will use this variable, 1 to 20, and I connect here to A. As you see, now my script works. And you create the connection between Dynamo and Revit. Okay? Simple. Now we go further with a more advanced script. I will remove that. I will open the file that you want to show you previously. Okay. Here in this Revit file, I've got 3 line curve. It is model curve, a floor, and I create an adaptive component. I will show you it. It is a component made with 3 nodes. Okay. I will show you on the 3D view. Yeah, it's a frame. It's a frame with 3 nodes. And what I will do in Dynamo, it is to make repetitive tasks to put this adaptive object on this 3 line. Well, I will open the script code. Okay. As you see, it's not so big. Let me explain you what is the benefit of this code. I will disconnect some stuff here. And first, I create some node to select all line. First, I will select this line. Second, this line. Third, this line. After that, I group all selection on one node called a list. and I create the geometry into Dynamo. If I run this script, you will see into Dynamo. You've got a graphic. Oh, I've got only two. Let's check. Maybe, yes. Yes, I've got 3. Okay, you've got a graphic view that you can see what is selected into Revit, and now draw into Dynamo. The next step will be to create some node along line. I've created here a code block as I used before. It is a list of numbers. 0 to 1, 0 is the beginning of the line, 1 is the end of the line, and I use x as a variable. It's the number of nodes between the start and the end of line. And using this code, I use a node called curve point at parameter. That means here, it divides my line by these numbers. If I click run, you see here and here, you've got into Revit, it is virtual point. It's not design, it's designed into Dynamo. And after that, if you play with the slider here, oh, sorry, and I run it, you've got the modification. Okay. After that, I need to place all points in adaptive family on each point. That's why I here use, wait, where it is? Points. Yes. I use this node called adaptive component by point. The first input, it is which point where I input this family, and the second, what is the family that I want to input. And I select the family that I created into Revit, and if I don't make any error, you will have this. As you see, it's very quick. If now you change something into Dynamo, it is automatically modified into Revit. And if you modify the curve lines, for instance, I will move, because I am in automatic calculation, it makes the modification into the next step. Okay? Simple. And as you see, it's not a big code. Let's see another example. I will start a new Revit with a structural template. I call this example is this. As I said, when you import a stat file into Revit, it's not so easy to use because there is, okay, you can snap on the stat point, of the stat object, but it's not so easy to use. The best way to use stat into Revit, it is to use Dynamo. And that is the purpose of my presentation. Okay, I've got here a Revit file empty, there is nothing. And here, I will load my second script. It's called stat import. Let's modify some kind of stuff. How do this? Okay. Here, I will use the node called file path. I load, you see, the stat file. Of course, after that, I will import the stat file into Dynamo and transform this stat file into polysurface, sorry, English. And if I run it, you will have the stat file into Dynamo, and maybe you will have Oh, yes, it's here. Yes. I don't know if yes. Yeah. It's a preview. It's not modelized into Revit. It's a preview into Revit. Okay? And what I want to do here, I want to cut this shape with horizontal plane. Okay, it's very easy to do this. Here, I will use plane offset. Plane offset, I will create a plane and create some offset. And I will use now a list of numbers as I already used before. You see, 1 to 44 divide by 9. Okay, if I run it, oh, and I want to make the intersection between the SAT file and this line. I will use this geometry intersect all. That means if I remove this, if I connect plane into the geometry input, if I put polysurfaces into entity, if I run it, as you see in Dynamo, you cut your SAT file with horizontal plane. If I put less plane, I run it, I've got less intersection. Okay? Easy. And the last part, it is to create, with this intersection, I've got some line to transform this line into beams. And if you use the node called structural framing beam by curve, the first input, it is curve. It is but it's a single curve, but you can put multiple curve into this node. The level, into Revit, when you design something, you need to have a reference level. I put the level 1, for instance. And here, it is what kind of beam you want to use. Be careful. This kind of node, read that you have into your Revit. If you have no beams, you will have nothing. That's what into this file, I've got only one beam. I will select it, and I will run it. And the magic happen. And into Revit, you can make this. But into Dynamo, it's easy, as you see. And if I put more, I run it, you will have more plane connected to the SAT file. I discover these tips in front of customer because all the time I am in front of customer and they've got some problem about like this stuff. And they said, yes, SAT file is not so easy to use into Revit. I said, yes, but I think it could be possible in Dynamo. And I find this way, as you see, it's so simple. Okay, and if you remove your code, for instance, you close your Dynamo, of course, the preview of the SAT file into the Revit is removed, and you've got your beam created into Revit stay into the file. Okay? Let's use this kind of example. As you see, my presentation is oriented to architects. The next session will be, I will use other example oriented for engineers. In this kind of example, I will show you how to create some shape with color when you want to respect an architectural plan given by the customer. Okay, he wants to have 2 bedroom with this size, with this area, stuff like this. But using this script, I need to run the previous version because I will use a package, I don't remember the name, is not updated for the current version now. That's why I will run the 16 version, okay? And I will run Dynamo. and I will show you the customer file. Oh, it's a joke, it is my file. You will see it's very simple file. Okay. It's already open. Yes, it is this file. Okay. Okay. As you see, I create some rooms. Into this room, I give some names. Okay. And here, I've got a 3D view without nothing. Okay. Running Dynamo. Here. I will open my script. Okay. Here you've got. Let's to avoid some. Okay, I will remove this. Oh, another trick in Dynamo: you can freeze some node, not to disconnect as I do. I will do. I don't do now, but you can. Sorry, it's French interface, but freeze. That means that if there is some information into this node, it makes nothing after. If I run this script, this package here, you recognize a package because you've got some sheets behind, okay? Dynamo node, you don't have sheets behind. Okay, and this package, as you see, create for you into the Dynamo interface the shape of room, and also it gives you some information about name, area, level name, and you've got result here. Okay? You can do this into basic feature into Dynamo, but using this package is already done with one node. Okay, and now I will make some stuff into Dynamo, but I will go directly into the best point here. I will create direct shape. Direct shape, that means I will take the area of room and I will create a volume, okay? Regarding the height of the room, the height of the room, and I will put some color here, a range of color with some value inside, and I will give one color for the bedroom, another color for the kitchen, blah 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 blah. Okay, and if I run the total code. I will remove that. As you see here, you've got the result of the 2D drawing. It's not 2D, it's Revit. But rooms are only a 2D drawing. And I create a 3D volume using the area of room. And what is the trick? If, for instance, you see the room number 3, the name is room 1. If I put the same name, room 1 for this, I will run it once again. And the last thing that I want to show you into Dynamo, it is a simulation. It is to create this kind of shape and use this radiation simulation into Revit using Dynamo. Okay, let's close this project and open the twist tool. There is nothing inside. I've got only the sun path, only that. I've got nothing. Oh, yes, I've got something I create inside. adaptive component, but it's a family composed by 4 nodes, okay? Now, if I use Dynamo, I will remove this. Okay. If I run Dynamo in Manage Table, okay, and I will run my script twist tour. In this Dynamo script, I create the tour, and of course, I will make the simulation. I will do the simulation. I will remove this. Okay. Here, I create some stores. Okay. Connecting to a node called ellipse. I will do a shape with ellipse form, and I set up the scale, or yes, the radius into x direction and y direction. Connecting this into geometry rotate, because this shape, I rotate this shape into certain of degrees, and I create the degrees of rotation here. And if I run this script, I've got this. And of course, after that, if I change the number of store, okay, change here. If I change the number of rotation, you've got a straight object, but let's rotate more. You see? Now, the next step, it is to, I will put more. It is to put something, because into Revit you will have only the shape. It isn't an object. I can select it. It is a virtual object, Dynamo virtual object into Revit. I will put some adaptive family around this shape, okay? And what I will do into, oh shit. Where is my script? Oh, sorry, my script was outside. Okay. What I will do, I will use this part. I call this facade, and I will use a package node called paneling quadrilateral. Okay, this custom node needs sequences, and V, it is the V direction. And before, I create on the curve here, it's the geometry. That means it is all my curve in each store. I will connect it here. And I create some point into each curve, okay? And I select all points and create a set of points with 1, 2, 3, 4. The next set of points, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, to have a right connection between all panels. And of course, after, I will tell to the software to use the family 1. Family 1, it is the family that I shown before. And I will run it, but okay. If I run it, okay, it's done. Now you've got physical object into Revit using my adaptive panel. Now the next step, it is to make a sort of simulation, like a radiation simulation. Not so hard to do this. Okay, it is this part. First, I will use my family that I use for create the exterior shape of the object. And I will extract the normal to this face. Okay, one face, we've got a normal vector, another face, another normal vector. And I will compare these vectors with the sun direction. I will use this node, it is compare vector with an angle, and I store all this value into this range of color. Running this script, and I will put in automatic way of calculation. Now, as you see, into Revit, I've got my sun analysis. If I change my sun position, because I am in Dynamo in automatic calculation, you will see all the time modification. Okay? It's not so difficult to create this. Of course, you can create a bigger spaghetti if you want, but okay. Let's continue. Sorry. Okay. If you want to have more information about Dynamo, you've got some official Dynamo website, but you've got some ecosystem Dynamo website here, like Revit Beyond BIM, Lunchbox, Archie Lab, GitHub. But also you will have some information into our French blog. The best blog in the world, of course, it is Village BIM. But you've got some other French blog. If you are focused on geospatial, like infraworld, civil 3D, it could be geospatial made in France and civil made in France. Of course, if you want to be connected with Autodesk France, you've got a Facebook page and a Twitter link. And of course, I will say thank you to attending my session.